you have any resources that you can recommend to help us grow our businesses or just ourselves personally?
I'm trying to think of, is there a podcast out? No, I'm just playing. Of course,
not a good one.
Yeah, I know your podcast. I can't tell you, man. Every episode of your podcast, no matter how long or how short it is, I always learn at least one good thing that has been proven correct. It is hands down the most valuable resource, I think, out there for laundromat owners. Not to pump you up. It's just, that's how I personally feel.
How much is going to cost me for you to say that?
Nothing. Yeah, it's funny, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it's funny you said that. It's a good lead in because, a lot of times when people plug things, we'll call it, for lack of a better description, it's because in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, maybe I'm going to get a benefit out of this, some kind of kickback. Maybe I'll get a subscription free or whatever it is, right? But really, you should be plugging things for two reasons. One is to create partnerships, right? And through networking. But when you plug things, it should be because that particular person provides excellent service, right? And when they refer you, you provide excellent service. That's how your business really grows at the end of the day. And any people that have been in business for a long time, especially outside of the laundromat industry, I spend a lot of time outside of the laundromat industry to see how other industries grow. A lot. I can't tell you how many times in your life have you heard people say, I don't even advertise. All my business is word of mouth. Mm-hmm. You've heard it countless times, it's a thing, and it's because people are referring because you provide great service. So don't always look for the angle. Don't look for the short-sighted angle of maybe I'm going to get $50 off a month. Look for the long-term angle of, if I have a good business relationship with this person and we're servicing our customers well, then we're going to keep referring each other and we'll grow together. You cannot ignore that. You can if you want, but then you're an old school laundromat owner. Let's just call it what it is. Hey, we brought that back in, right? Yeah.
Bringing it all around. I love it.
Yeah. And again, I think that's probably good enough for me, really. Yeah. If you want like recommended resources like books, I think I referenced earlier Dave Ramsey. Hands down, I've read the most complicated financial books on planet Earth. I don't know if you've ever read The Intelligent Investor. I just tell people, if you want to get a headache, go read that one, because you really got to understand some things to understand what they're talking about. But, all the financial books I've read over the years, all the real estate books I've read over the years, hands down, the one book that changed my life, and I say that like 100% being honest here, was Total Money Makeover. And it wasn't because I followed his investing advice, and it wasn't because I followed his advice to pay off the mortgage, but it was what he taught me in that book was, of course, he talks about the debt snowball. And I don't remember if he worded it this way, but what I did is I sat down and I looked at all of our debts, we had 20-some thousand in credit card debt, whatever it all was. And I added up all the interest payments. And I went to my wife. I was like, we're spending thousands of dollars a month in interest. This is insane. Yeah. And so we snowballed all that stuff except for the mortgages. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa, now we can start really saving money towards rental properties. It was a game changer. It changed our lives. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It really did. And that other book too, that coin laundry book, God dang it.
I'll put a link to it. I know which one you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it either, but I'll put a link to it. Just make sure you buy the right revision, because I bought, I think, the original one, and then I bought the 2002, maybe. I can't remember, but there's a newer one now, and I'm just tired of buying the same book over and over. So I'm just reading that. But that one cracks the code on demographics. Another thing that book has in there that's genius is if you want to evaluate a shopping center from a laundromat owner perspective, like, is this a good location? It's great information. But if you think opposite to that, like, wait a minute, if I want to buy a shopping center, does this shopping center that I'm thinking about buying, does it have all these elements that are listed in this coin laundry book, right? So really you could use that same guide to evaluate a retail shopping center and go, does it meet all these wickets to be a successful retail? Yes, it does. Okay, let me pursue that investment, not being a laundromat, but being the owner of the shopping center. That's in a coin laundry book. Who would have thought of that? Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Awesome. No, super good. Super duper good, especially the part about how great the podcast is. That was probably the best part of this whole thing.